Um, I, you name it. Reporters. I mean, all kinds of weird jobs. I worked a flower. I was a florist in a show. I mean, it's a radio host. So it's great if you don't know what you want to do in life because you end up doing just about everything. And you don't have to go to school. I don't have to go to medical school to be a doctor. I put on the lab coat and I go in there and, yep, I'm a doctor. So no, to be honest with you, and so this was really all that I really wanted to do. I really enjoyed it. Plus, being able to start working at it professionally and making a living at it right away didn't hurt. If it was one of those situations where most actors aren't as lucky as I. They don't get to work as often as I do. If I went 6 months or 8 months or longer without a job, I don't know that I would have stayed as an actor. I just don't know that I would have wanted to take on that battle and struggle that hard. I literally got the first job I ever auditioned for, and I am working literally every single week. If more than 5 or 6 days go by where I don't have a job, it's abnormal. So, and at this point in life, also, what else am I going to do? I really have zero skills as far as anything else is concerned. For example, I went in today to buy some new shoes, some tennis shoes, and the lady that was helping me knew everything about feet. They even put me on a treadmill where they had a camera on it so she could slow down my walking to see what shoe was exactly right. And I'm thinking, I couldn't even sell shoes now. I don't have the knowledge. But I can be an actor who's pretending to sell shoes. I could do that as a character. So I think I'm kind of stuck at this point, but I'm happy to be stuck this way.
Okay, so say you could go back in time and
Uh,
grant yourself an amazing skill that would be your future job, of course, besides acting or voice acting, because you probably would choose it again because it sounds like you love it.
yeah,
No,
absolutely.
what would you choose? Like, would you want to be, an astronaut or, anything?
Oh, so if I couldn't be an actor, what would I be?
Yeah,
Um,
and you'd be like the best at it currently, like you are with, voice
you know
acting.
what I would it would have had to have been something in the creative side. So I think I would have liked to have become either a writer or more probably a producer. I would have gone into the production side of things, where I could have helped coordinate and create projects. That would have been really exciting.
Okay, I like that answer. So back to more of the Jim Raynor type thing. Jim Raynor itself has won so many awards. He's top 10 heroes of all time on GameSpot. You even won an award, I believe, from Got Y or whatever, and for best voice acting.
Yeah, there was
Um,
a site called Reaction Time, and he named me as best voice actor in 2010, and Fred Tatasciore, who plays Zeratul, he said is the close second. So
yeah,
so it's been nice.
you've been playing this character, Jim Raynor, and you obviously love it. It's your favorite character.
Yeah.
When you took this job as Jim Raynor, could you expect that 12 years later, like how mind blown were you when 12 years later you realized how amazing of a character? Because like you said, you didn't realize how it would have taken off back then. You didn't even realize how StarCraft 2 developed over time until several years later. I mean, is it do you look back and think holy shit, or is it just like
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely. That's why I feel that I was incredibly fortunate, incredibly lucky. One of the great things about acting is that strange things like this happen all the time. They don't generally happen to me, but you hear stories about it where somebody just happens to, like, for example, a friend of mine was is a voice actor. I guess it was 10, 15 years ago, was at a recording session, and they said, could you stick around a couple minutes? We're thinking of pitching something to one of our potential clients. Can you record something for us, just kind of like a demo so we could play it for them? Sure. What did he say? You are now free to move about the country. Now, not only did he get the gig, I think they used that actual audition that he did. It wasn't even an audition, and they put it on every single one of the commercials for Southwest Airlines for 10, 15 years. The guy made so much freaking money that he ended up moving his entire family to Belgium, and he took cooking classes.
That is
So,
awesome.
yeah, I mean, it's crazy, crazy stuff like that that happens all the time. It's just that it's the rarity. It's not the exception. You can't. It's the exception. You can't plan on something like that. So when Starcraft came around, I figure, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, man, I've got a lot of years in this business. I've had a lot of close calls where you know, they either choose you or they choose somebody else and they choose the other guy. And I joke about it. I say it's now between me and the guy that's going to get it, only because I don't expect anything. And again, that's why I'm kind of surprised when anything does happen. I don't have those expectations, which are going to make me miserable if I don't get a part. Uh, I don't want to live in regret. I don't want to live in the future. I want to live right now in the present. And so when this came around, it didn't surprise me as, wow, this stuff never happens to anybody. It was just, oh my goodness, this is really happening. This this is going to be fun. This is really going to be cool. Of course, that was after I got the gig. That was when I was able to relax and go, okay, now we've got it. And even when, it's funny, even as an actor, when you're doing it, you're still thinking, I could still be replaced
Right.
because it's happened. It's happened before. I've been, on TV shows or you've been recording something and they fall in love with you and then they're out of love with you for whatever reason. You remind them of, their ex-husband or, the brother-in-law that they can't stand, whatever it might be. You get they change the creative head and he just wants to clean house. All that kind of stuff happens. So nothing is permanent. But, I obviously was incredibly happy when the call came and I started working on Raynor. But I don't think I ever really relaxed until the game was released. Once the game was released, I went, okay, I am in it. That is me. It's not going to be somebody else at the last minute that's going to come in.
Okay. So, most of your roles are smaller ones, but have you won an award for any other role you've played in the past?
I'll tell you, I've won one other award in my life. And the thing in reaction time was I don't know if it was really a competition or anything. It was just one person's opinion on their website, and it was greatly appreciated by me. But when I was in high school, I won a trophy out here in Los Angeles. They have a thing called the oh God, is it the fall drama festival? And I did a group comedy with a couple of people, and we actually won a trophy in that. And that's where we were competing against all the high schools in Los Angeles. So it was pretty competitive, and that was really thrilling. But other than that, no, I really haven't won a lot of stuff. But that's okay. It's I'm not in it for the trophies. It's if the choice was get a get an award and never work, or get to work all the time and don't get an award, I'd rather work.
Yeah, definitely.
And like Trish Helfer, she won the award for best human actress for her portrayal of Kerrigan in the game. I'm absolutely thrilled. The game won best PC game of the year. Fantastic. I'm I've got a pretty good part in that game, so I certainly think I helped it to win. And that's gratifying enough. To be a part of something like that is plenty.